plans are underway to ensure the success of the maiden edition of the Niger Delta Sports Festival. The organizers have announced plans to accommodate over 4,000 participants in Akwa Ibom, the host state. The event, set for the 1st to the 8th of April, will feature athletes, officials, and VIP guests, and it also set to boost the local economic activity in the state, especially in Uyo. 3,000 bed spaces for athletes and coaches are also going to be provided, with over 2,000 hostel accommodations for administrators and guests. The festival also expects a huge influx of media, scouts, and sports enthusiasts. Well, joining us tonight on Game On is the head of special duties for the Niger Delta Sports Festival, Onome Obruthe. Thank you so much for coming through tonight. Tell us a bit more about this festival. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Well, just recently we were talking about the Southwest Games. Now we're talking about the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Is this like some kind of healthy inter-regional rivalry?
Thank you for having me. I don't think it has anything to do with any rivalry. We've been on this project for 2 years. Dunamis Icon and my chairman, Akwa Ibom, aka Malik. We've been on this for 2 years. It's been a very long journey. Fortunately for us, the NDDC has adopted this and see it to be very key for the region. They came up with this project.
Oh, interestingly, so we're hearing that.
The reason why we came up.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Can I go on?
Please go ahead.
Okay, the major reason why we came up for this project was because we realized that 80% of Nigerian athletes, sportsmen and women, who have won laurels for this country have come from that region of the country.
80%?
People, yes, 80%. And all the times than none, we have found that you'll be shocked to find out the kind of people that are from the 9 states that make up the Niger Delta states. You know, it's really amazing to find out that certain athletes that we thought were from the South are actually from the Niger Delta states. You know? So I came up with this and said, okay, most of our youths are known for restiveness, you know, as they were, but we decided to bring out this gold mine from sports from this sector.
Okay, so let's talk about the festival itself. We're looking at how many sports are going to be competed in.
For now, we have 18 sports.
18?
Yes, but mostly sports that are based in the Niger Delta area: canoeing, swimming, kayaking, you know, sports that depicts what the Niger Delta areas are known for.
Interesting. So, what is the long-term prognosis of this game? Is this a festival? Is it? We've seen something like this in the past. I believe the NDDC used to sponsor something like this. Now we are seeing a different iteration as the Niger Delta Sports Festival. So, what is the long-term prognosis? What does the Niger Delta hope to get out of this in the long to medium term?
Okay. Interestingly, the NDDC wants to take this the whole 9 yards, in the sense that once the game is done, we get the best of the best from unknown athletes and then try and sponsor them and promote them to ensure that they come up with good results in meets, both locally and internationally. And then we'll strive to create leagues between now and next year's edition, so that it's not just this festival itself. After the festival, they will have leagues, for example, basketball leagues, there will be swimming leagues, canoeing leagues, just putting them all in a competitive nature so that it does not just end after the games, but it continues till the next games, and we'll continue producing until we're done.
Well, okay, looking at the games itself, a lot of people are wondering why the choice of Uyo for the maiden edition. Now, there are multiple states in the Niger Delta. Delta State has a good shout. Then also River State as well. Why Uyo?
Well, we went through all the states and we found out that these states you're mentioning don't actually have much facilities like Uyo, so we chose Uyo.
Okay, so
facilities ready. Not they have, but the NDDC and the Icon would try and fix the ones that we need for the games, but they have more facilities.
Well, a little bird told me that the Niger Delta states are hoping or planning to use this sports festival as a training ground or precursor, if you may call that, ahead of the upcoming National Sports Festival coming up later in the year. Can you confirm this?
No, it's not the same, sir. What we're trying to do is to develop new talents. We're trying to go to the grassroots. So we have liaison offices and we have coaches that are going to be working for Dunamis Icon. Now, the trials are going to start from local governments, which will be broken into federation states. So what is going to happen is we have coaches that are good at discovering and nurturing talent. So when you come for these games, you will meet 80% of the athletes are new. Now, just recently, we had to accommodate known stars to participate, but not older than 25 years. So we're trying to see how best we can get young, unknown talent that we will groom.
Okay, so if I get you, yeah, so you're saying that the age cap for this tournament is 25 years, which is, I think is laudable, but some would have preferred it to be a bit, maybe lower, probably 22, 23, but I can understand why. But in terms of challenges, how challenging?
But it's not older than 25 for the non-stars. The young athletes we're trying to groom is between the ages of 16 and 22.
Okay, that's fair, that's fair. But let me ask you, sir, how challenging has it been putting this tournament together, knowing the complexities of everyday life in Nigeria, funding, facilities, travel, logistics? How challenging has it been putting this festival together?
Interestingly, my brother, this is a very good question. We at Dunamis Icon, I myself especially, we don't believe in challenges. We see the good in every situation. I'll give you an example. You will look at the logistics of us being responsible for bringing 3,000 athletes, just the athletes minus the coaches, VIPs, and other technical team members, technocrats, and all of that. But what did we get from this? We found out that we could actually make these athletes for the first time extremely comfortable, right? So we're going to have a situation whereby in bringing the athletes from all those 9 states to Uyo, they will have the best means of transportation. We found a very unique model to adapt. So when these athletes get to Uyo, they'll be fresh as if they came back, but they're going to come by road. But the arrangement we have for them is such a good one, is so unique that we didn't know we could achieve this. Also, the athletes in this event are a priority. We're going to ensure that every athlete coming for this event gets the best of the best. You know how it is. Once the athletes are well taken care of, the rest is left for us to see how well people do. But the athletes are a priority, and we are taking them as the kings of this event. Don't forget, they are raw, but want to try and polish them to become gold. Okay,
I get that. Finally, sir, it's been very interesting listening to you, and your passion for this project is quite palpable. But if I may ask you, what would represent success for you personally from this project, from this Niger Delta Sports Festival? In your opinion, what would you regard as a successful project?
First and foremost, our priority is to ensure that there are no age cheats. So when you're coming for this, as far as you're within that age of 18 and 22, the NIN you did, not last week, not last month, is what we use. For the first, we want to discover young talents. Like I said, this is not about winning. It's not about your state winning, no. If we discover a certain Afoke, for example, from Delta, that is 17, and she can get to the finals to compete against a known state athlete from Delta or from Imo or from Ondo, that for us is a win-win. We're not looking for those that win. We're looking for those that we will nurture to get to that point where we can groom them to become huge medal prospects for the region and this country at large.
Well, just before I let you go, just as a quick aside, I've been involved in a few of these competitions, and I can tell you that weeding out 8 cheats is an enormous task. And I've mentioned this before. I've seen a school official bring 8 or 11 birth certificates showing the same date for 8 or 11 different athletes. So it just shows you the scale of the task. But you mentioned NIN. Is there any other way that you're looking to use, to employ, to weed out age cheats, or you want to keep that under wraps?
No. I'll share with you. You know, it's our first edition. That's why we're having 3 stages. And the first stage is a very key stage for these games. The first stage whereby these coaches who know what we want, because they are working for us, we are paying them. They cannot do the norm, in quote, whereby they just go and get, for example, you know how it works now.
Oh, yeah.
You go to Kano and get maybe the best to come and run for Delta, or you go to Ogun, get the best to come and play tennis for Edo, things like that. It won't happen. Now, these athletes will be screened, and when you see the members of our technical committee and my eagle eye, we are going to ensure that these talents that we are bringing, who are raw, right, to the best of our abilities, are within the real age. Like I said, there's no need for you to go and bring a 25-year-old man to come and run against a 15-year-old. But if you do, all well and good. However, when you are 35, there are records. We know the community you are from. We will know the people that you grew up with. We are going to go so deep. We already have this team. And let me tell you why it's so interesting. We have over 65 people in that unit that will help us and guide us, that we will pay Dunamis Icon, not the state. So it's a very big tax, but it's doable because the trials are going to last for about 2 to 3 weeks. It's not something we're going to do for 1 day or 2 days. No, we'll go from this place to that place to this location. So if we are coming from these local governments, don't forget we'll take care of your transportation to come to the main place. So we're doing a lot. And the truth is, by the grace of God, we will make sure that age cheat is going to be a thing out of the way. And finally, let me also say this. There's nothing hidden, because journalists, when you come for the events, you might remind me and play this state for me to say, Mr. Onome, this was what you said, this is not what's happening. What we have said is, if your state brings anybody that they now find out is an age cheat, we disqualify the entire state.
You will disqualify the entire state contingent?
The entire state contingent. You are all gone.
Wow.
Don't forget, my brother, this is not an event being organized by states or federal government. It's by a company that wants to create a name in the Nigerian sporting sector.
Okay.
So once your athlete cheats, for example, we find out that he's not 18, he's 28, he's swimming against others, the entire state team is disqualified. Okay. That's what we've agreed.
I get that. That's laudable, and I think that's enough to scare anybody. But I know I've said the final question, but I promise is the final question.
No, you said that 4 times.
I apologize. This is actually the final question, but it seems like a huge project. Who is funding this? You said it's not funded by the state government. It's not funded by the federal government. So who is funding this?
NDDC, 100%.
NDDC, 100%.
Yes,
okay.
And the partners.
Okay, that's wonderful and that's laudable. Eagle-eyed Onome Obruthe, who is the head of special duties for the Niger Delta Sports Festival. Thank you so much for coming through tonight and sharing, your thoughts regarding the upcoming Niger Delta Sports Festival. We'll be looking forward to it here at News Central and, of course, on Game On, and we will definitely be covering it as it progresses. Thank you so much for your time.
We hope to see you in New York. We're expecting a lot of journalists. I'm making provisions for accommodation for you also. We have a team who is already taking care of that. Earlier on today, I went to check 1,034 hotels, rooms.
Wow.
Okay. Today, I went to 15 hotels, right? So we have people on ground. Like I always say to people, these things are doable once you have that will and that zeal to want to make a difference. Because we believe once we get this right, other regions in Nigeria, other locations in Nigeria will want to do something like this. And who else would they come to than Dunamis Icon?
Okay, thank you so much for your time. Again, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you.